What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to another update for Star Wars Battlefront 2. In today's video, we have some cool information about the upcoming new heroes BB-8 and BB-9E, and we also have an explanation of why we did not get other heroes in their place, such as Poe Dameron or General Hux. If you're not already, be sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you're staying in the loop with more Battlefront updates like this, and don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. We're going to jump right into the news though, and the first thing to talk about is Battlefront 2's new Celebration Edition. It just released the other day, and there were some issues on Origin for players trying to purchase it for the first time, or when they were trying to upgrade their current game. All of those issues have since been fixed, and you should now be able to purchase the Celebration Edition without any issue. In case you missed the big announcement, Battlefront 2's Celebration Edition is the latest iteration of the game, which contains all of the cosmetic items that have been introduced since the game's launch back in 2017. It is an incredibly good deal if you have not yet purchased Battlefront 2, or if you're missing some of the cosmetic items. The Celebration Edition comes with every single victory pose, voice line, emote, trooper customization, and hero customization, with the exception of the Last Jedi pre-order items, specifically the Last Jedi skins for Rey and Kylo Ren. But definitely check out the Celebration Edition if you want to upgrade or if you want to pick up Battlefront 2 for the first time. It's even got brand new cover art featuring the new Sith Trooper, which is coming to the game later this month, and we'll talk about him shortly. Moving on, we had a game update in Battlefront 2 the other day. This update was what was originally the November game update, which got moved to the first week of December. This update featured a lot of UI customization options, as well as new skins for some of our Clone Wars reinforcements. These new skins come in appearance bundles, which you can purchase for crystals from the collections menu. I only bring this up as a tip, because if you're a player who does not have any crystals but you are thinking of purchasing some so that you could unlock these skin bundles, I recommend you to hold off. The Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition actually includes these new reinforcement skins, so if you were thinking of upgrading, you might actually save some money by simply upgrading your game and getting those skins automatically, instead of purchasing crystals to unlock the bundles. If you're a long-time player though, with a lot of credits built up and most likely all the other skins in the game unlocked, you're probably just better off unlocking these new appearances with the credits. Or if you'd like to support DICE, feel free to just upgrade your game and get the skins regardless. I just wanted to throw it out there so that you don't needlessly waste your credits or crystals if you don't have to, and you could upgrade your game. Moving on though, we have some news about hero changes coming to the game very soon, namely for Princess Leia and Darth Vader. In this latest game update, Darth Vader had a change to his choke ability, which some saw as a good thing, but others saw as a very bad thing. In my update video where I talked about this change, I originally said it was a good change without really thinking about all the implications. After this latest game update, Darth Vader now requires a target in his area of effect before his choke can activate, meaning you can't press the choke button and accidentally waste it. Newer and less experienced players would absolutely see this as a good thing, since it's more forgiving if they miss their ability. If they hit the choke button but there's no target in range, they don't lose their choke, they get to try again. More experienced players would absolutely see this as a bad thing, since it means the only way you can avoid the choke is by either blocking it or rolling at just the right time. I think it's pretty universally agreed that the choke is one of the strongest abilities in Battlefront 2, so the fact that it is now this forgiving is pretty bad. Our hero designer for Battlefront 2, Guillaume, says that the team realized that this was a mistake, though they realized it a little bit too late, and this change will be reverted in an upcoming update. Besides Darth Vader though, Princess Leia is soon going to get the buff that she has been needing for the last 2 years. Guillaume says that he's going to take a look at her flash grenade to try to improve it, and he's also going to try to improve on the shield. We don't have any further information on what specifically will be changing, but I'm glad that the grenade and the shield are getting looked at, because they're definitely two of the weaker hero abilities in the game. If I were the hero designer for Battlefront 2, personally, I would make it so that Leia could shoot her secondary fire out of her shield. That would give the shield a practical defensive use while still letting her be offensive at the same time. It's also a callback to Battlefront 2015, where Leia could do this very thing with an ability called Trooper Bane, which let her shoot through her shield. I'm just glad Leia is getting the attention that she deserves, because she can be a good hero in fact, she's just a little bit lacking when compared to everybody else. Now let's move on and talk about our two new upcoming heroes, BB-8 and BB-9E. This includes some information about why we didn't get other heroes in their place, such as Poe Dameron or General Hux from the sequel trilogy movies. Battlefront 2's design director, Dennis Bronville, went out on Reddit to try to explain some of the thought process behind the team's decision to include BB-8 and BB-9E, and why they didn't include more human characters. He actually had a lot to say on this topic, but it's very clear that the team wanted to do the two new droids. Dennis says, "I think in most cases what we deliver are things that you've asked for, whether it's improvements to the game systems or new content. Sometimes though, we allow ourselves, meaning the development team, to add things that we feel inspired to do. For example, Geonosis was a highly requested planet to add, as were the heroes and villains with it, while Felucia was not heavily requested, but the team really wanted to build it. When it comes to the sequel era, the most requested things had already been added, namely Rey, Kylo Ren, Phasma, Finn, and Planet Crate. So the team took the opportunity to add something that really inspired them and would open up some really cool new gameplay opportunities. Thus, BB-8 and BB-9E. Dennis also had a really cool tease about the droids' playstyles, and he even had a hint at possibly one of BB-8's abilities. He says, "The droids are support characters. Neither is very likely to defeat another hero or villain in a straight-up 1 versus 1, although if you're playing a low-health Kylo Ren, watch out for a BB-8 rush." That sounds like it could be one of BB-8's abilities. My biggest takeaway from that, though, is that the droids are indeed support characters. They're not intended to go out and do massive amounts of damage like Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker. They're there to back up your team, which is a pretty consistent quality with the droids of the Star Wars universe. R2 is always there to back up Luke, and BB-8 is always there to back up Poe. Speaking of Poe, though, we have some explanation of why the team decided to go with BB-8 and BB-9E as opposed to more iconic characters such as Poe Dameron or General Hux. To start, Dennis says that the team loves Poe, but since he's already in the game as a starfighter pilot, they hope that we would forgive them for prioritizing the droids over turning him into a blaster hero too. I can understand that, but at the same time, the vast majority of the starfighter heroes are also ground-based heroes as well. Luke Skywalker with Red 5, Darth Vader with the TIE Advanced, Yoda, Darth Maul, Boba Fett, all of these characters are heroes that you can play in Galactic Assault and in the hero modes. Based on that alone, I wouldn't see it as too weird to have Poe as both a ground-based hero and as a starfighter hero, but I do understand Dennis's train of thought here. More telling than that, though, he was asked why it wouldn't have saved time in the hero creation process by making the last two sequel trilogy main characters new blaster heroes, allowing the team to spend more time in other places. It was also noted that by introducing Poe and General Hux, it would have included the last two pieces of the sequel trilogy puzzle on each side. Dennis had a really interesting response to this. He says, "Poe and Hux would not have been time savers at all. In fact, I think we would have struggled to even make them a lot of fun to play in Battlefront in time for the Episode 9 release." He gets what's being said about completing the puzzle, but he also disagrees that Hux belongs in a perceived trinity more than Rose or more than BB-8. He doesn't think the trinity exists in the same way as, say, the original trilogy. And Dennis, I wholeheartedly disagree with you here. In Episode 7, we were introduced to Rey, Finn, and Poe. That is the trinity of the sequel trilogy, in the exact same way that Luke, Han, and Leia were the trinity in the originals. BB-8 is not a part of the trinity, neither is Rose, in the exact same way that R2-D2 and Lando Calrissian are not part of the original trinity. The new trinity most definitely exists, but I respect Dennis's difference in opinion here. He brought up another point that I found pretty interesting on the notion of doing Rose and Hux as blaster heroes, which he says actually scared him, considering that neither character seems really popular with the community. He feared that that would have triggered some thoughts such as, quote, "some evil Disney executive somewhere is forcing them to do this hero rather than insert your favorite prequel character here." He says that that would have overshadowed the rest of the announcements, and I definitely agree with that. He did expect that the droids would trigger some disappointment from a few players, but he at least feels comfortable that their gameplay will convince any doubters once they release. And that's exactly the camp that I fall into. These two new droids sound like a lot of fun, and it's a completely different experience from anything we've had in Battlefront 2 before. They're support heroes. We've never seen anything like that before. They don't have lightsabers, they don't have blasters. It's something completely new. And I don't know about you guys, but personally I find that exciting. But that's going to be all the news that we have today, guys. Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on all of this. Would you have preferred Poe Dameron and General Hux over BB-8 and BB-9E? And if so, what's your reasons why? Also, what do you think their abilities could have been to make them more unique heroes in the game? Drop your thoughts below, but that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for stopping by the bazaar. Hit thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and that's going to do it from me. I'll see you out on the battlefront. Peace.